Welcome to the Lakeshow podcast, presented by Jack in the Box. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by my Spectrum SportsNet
Adversity early on the read, huh?
co-host Chris McGee, our Laker insider Mike Bresnahan. Geeter, there's this thing that if you're not live, people don't know about what happens.
Adversity.
I was told it might
The theme of our season. Getting through these times.
Clearly, you have a path that you want to go.
No,
so
I don't
let's
care.
go.
I'm just kidding around.
Following you.
I'm just kidding around. I'm off today. You go ahead.
Please don't tell me that. What's your favorite order at Waffle House, Brez?
You know, you got to go with the. I don't really have a favorite order. I go once a year when I'm in the Midwest.
Interesting.
Probably the. You know what I did once at a Waffle House? I was in Tucson for a bowl game, and I ordered the on the whiteboard. They had a little special, the raisin waffle. I said, "Oh, great! You know, I'm up for this. It's quick." So we got the raisin waffle, and they delivered it. And you look at it, and you're like, all the raisins are kind of centered in the middle of this giant waffle. And then you take a closer look at it, and you see that what they've done at this particular Waffle House.
I'm sorry. What do you, like raisins?
Raisin waffle. Yeah, we need something fast.
Okay.
We were in a hurry to get to a bowl game.
Okay. Why though? Why would you do that personally?
It's like,
did you say? Oh, that sounds great.
What's the fastest thing you can do for us? We got to get to a bowl game. Wisconsin's playing
The raisin
Utah.
waffle's not the fastest thing.
Raisin
Brett. Have a
waffle.
sausage on there.
Fastest thing they can do. Great, we'll take it. It's your special. Let's go.
Brett's pissed, dude.
But the raisins are all centered in the middle of the waffle. You're ruining my story. Hold on a second.
It's a
Raisins are
horrible story.
centered in the middle of this giant waffle. And what they did was they took a piece of raisin toast, they poured waffle batter around it, and they smashed it all together.
Like the cinnamon raisin swirl bread?
Yes. Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Very clever.
Well, it didn't taste very good. So
Yeah.
we ended up going to the bowl game.
What a shocker.
Yeah, we ended up going to the bowl game starving, eating like stadium food, which is always, yeah. So I would not recommend the raisin toast, the raisin waffle, which at this particular one was raisin toast with waffle batter poured around
Do
it.
you know what a raisin makes me think of?
What?
Shriveled up. What? Grapes?
For another podcast. Having said that, I grew up in the Midwest.
Brez is a foodie,
Yeah.
and I usually trust his knowledge of restaurants. He's pointed me in the right direction many times, but I'm so confused of what just happened right there and why he out of
Ordering.
all the things that the Waffle House.
It was a bad order.
He went with the raisin. He panicked, 100% panicked, and went with the raisin. Like, don't ever do that.
Waffle. You would never. Are you a waffle or pancake guy? I wouldn't even put a raisin in
At
a
Keaty's
pancake.
in Palm Desert, I'm going pancakes 100%. If I'm at Martha's in Hermosa, going pancakes.
Pancakes.
But there are some places where you go waffle all time. So you just got to, it depends on what their specialty is.
Yeah,
Bottom line, that's me saying I could go both.
you could go both.
Yeah.
Uncle Bill's Pancake House, Manhattan Beach, you got to get pancakes. You got to stick with what the name of the place is. And you don't always necessarily have to go with whatever people say is the fastest and easiest. The mistake we made in lovely Tucson,
Why
Arizona.
did you think that would be the fastest and easy? Because it was on the whiteboard?
Yeah, well, okay, we got to go. What
Yeah.
can you make for us quickly? Oh, we're serving a lot of the raisin waffles today. It's the top of the whiteboard. Terrific. We'll take 4 of them. So all 4 of us realized the mistake we had made.
Yeah. Dude.
But I keep going back.
Wow.
Yeah, when I'm in the Midwest, not a lot of waffle
So that's
houses.
the last thing you've had there, is that? Or if you had something different since?
No, when I was at the Indy 500 a couple years ago, big traditional breakfast there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, eggs,
All right, you're off the
pancakes.
For those of you that may be just tuning in on the audio side, the reason why we started the podcast with what your favorite order at
really
Waffle House
confused.
is because Brez is wearing a Waffle House sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt.
One of my favorite hoodies.
Yeah.
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 I really should wear it more often.
Speaking of adversity, Geeter, I think the Lakers are on the other side of it. However,
Are they?
there's a lot of adversity, or shall we say chaos, in the Western Conference.
Yes.
Because I can't stand to hear, read, see, or just think about the fact that the Lakers are still in 9th after how amazing and incredible they've been playing for the last couple of months.
Let me give you some numbers.
Please.
I just have to think about them for a second. The Lakers have the tied for third best record in the NBA since February 1st. There's 30 teams in the NBA. Over a 2-month, 2-day period, they are third best record. Okay, they have the third best record. They went 5-1 on the road trip. They've won 8 of 9, and they are stuck in the 9th spot. So it is very frustrating.
At 11 games over 500.
They are 11 games over 500. I mean, listen, the Warriors are like 10 games over 500, and they're in 10th place. They're only like 11 games back of Denver. It's not like the West is separated by everyone. Like the Clippers have 3 more wins than the Lakers. 3 more wins than the Lakers. They are in 4th comfortably. Like it's crazy just how packed it is. And, you know, I keep going back to this. 3-10 after the in-season tournament. Put this team where they are because they haven't been able to make up much ground. And there was a chance, and I remember us sitting here doing the podcast, this is the chance to make up ground. January. They went 7-8. So that's why you're here. It's the reality. But the Lakers are playing good basketball, so you have to keep going back to that. They're a good team.
It is April 4th. And since January 15th, which is a 36-game span, they have been the 9th or 10th seed.
Wow.
For how long?
Since January 15th.
That's insane. And think about, so third best record didn't move you up at all. Not even for a second. I think they were for one day they might have moved up to like a tie for and then moved back, if I recall. Brez, do you ever ask yourself if they had this starting lineup from day one?
Oh, yeah.
Where would they be?
Exactly.
Obviously, there were injuries that played into this, but those guys were all healthy day one. I know. And listen, Rui missed 15 games in that first half of the season. That's actually a lot of games in the first 41 or 42 games. If my numbers are correct or my math's correct, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so bear with me. But where would they be? I don't know. But you have to wonder where they would be.
Yeah, Darvin officially put Rui in the starting lineup for good 2 months ago on February 3rd. Since that day, this team has absolutely taken off. There's been some weird losses, sure. I mean, they weren't flawless on the road trip. Scored only 90 whatever in Indiana. I had a problem closing.
But in the NBA, Brez, it happens.
For sure.
I mean, yeah.
And it was weird. The closing against Washington, all of a sudden the starters are rushing back in.
That was wild.
That was unbelievable. So they weren't flawless, but they're playing really good basketball. Yeah. The problem for them is exactly what you're saying, Geet. It's a logjam. And it's just bad luck for the Lakers because a year ago, if they had this record, they'd be 4th in the West.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, 23-11 now since Rui's been in the starting lineup versus 14-15 when he was not.
Huge part of it. And would he be in the starting lineup if Jared Vanderbilt hadn't gotten hurt the previous game? Because he got hurt in Boston. Very next game, Rui's in the starting lineup.
I always go back to where would the season be if Vando didn't start the year hurt? Is that what changed the thought process in our lineup? Would it have been different? Do you start with Vando because that's who started last year? So I don't know. These questions will never be answered. But it's hard when you're in the 9th spot to not go over that kind of stuff.
How different just in general from the most recent time of how big those games against the Sacramento Kings were, and you were up 18 in the first of 2 when they were so big. Had they won that one.
And by the way, got smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After being up.
Yeah, you're talking about the one that was kind of recent.
The one here in LA. Yeah.
After All-Star break. That was
because there's still a chance, right? To be.
Oh, you were right there with them.
Yeah.
And you were going to play 2 against them. And yeah, those games were tough. I've looked, though, that they don't have bad losses like in these last couple months. Like I said, they have the 3rd best record in the NBA. Boston and one other team. You know, they lost to the Suns. They've lost to the Warriors when AD got hurt. They've lost to the Kings. They lost to the like they've not. You know, they've had a lot of good wins and basically lost normal NBA games that every team in the league, including the Denver Nuggets, lose. You know, just the way the season goes. They haven't had that big win streak, which I think is kind of a bummer. It'd be nice if they could have gotten up to an 8 or 9 or 10-game win streak. Then you really can make up ground. Look at what Dallas did. But they've been pretty steady.
5 to go, correct? 5 games to go.
5 to go.
What are we looking at now? Stats, standings, schedules, shenanigans, man over here.
You know, the Lakers have done everything you can ask of them. They've beaten all the terrible teams that we talked about, all the teams that are out of it, done, eliminated from playoff contention. The problem is no one's losing. Phoenix keeps winning. How do they keep winning?
Man, the Cavs struggled last night.
They've won 2 in a row. One was Denver without Murray, and one was
New Orleans.
And the game before that, they
without
lost
PI.
to the Spurs. So I think at that moment we thought, oh my God, here comes this gauntlet of a schedule. So they're about to get into it. I think we'll know more. But they are. I don't think I looked that closely at the schedule. They're playing at home.
Yeah.
The Suns' schedule, I think I was listening to the names instead of like really thinking about it.
And maybe where the teams they're playing now are versus the record that's put them there. Like the Cavs are not great right now.
Yeah.
But they had been great since Donovan Mitchell, then he goes out. And
I think we all, Brez and I, at least for sure, I can speak for him in this one, we fixated on the Suns because we have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So that's the most realistic one. And then you look at their schedule and you're like, 5-5. Remember we looked at it when they were 6, when they had 11 games. Now they have 9 or whatever, 8 left. But it was like, we were like.
What about the Pelicans now?
A lot of injuries. Zion left
And
with
they're
a finger
1-4
injury.
in their last 5.
That's a team that I thought was secured, and now you're like going, wouldn't that be interesting if we could go 5-1 and they go 3-3?
For about 2 weeks.
4-1.
For about 2 weeks. I think it was last month, actually. They were playing the best basketball of anybody in the West.
Yeah.
Now, BI, we don't know when he's back. He might be back for the last game or two. Yeah. He's had a knee bruise. And then Zion leaves the game in the fourth quarter, can't come back because of a finger injury. So that's bad. If you go the rest of the regular season without those two guys, that's trouble.
Here's what I think. Between those 3 teams, Suns, Pelicans, Kings, I got to think one of them falls back. All 3 can't. They actually play each other a little bit. I forget who Kings play the Suns.
Kings play Suns.
So someone's got to. So the Lakers have to go 4-1.
Yes. Yep.
I honestly think, Brez, we're going to know a lot more after this weekend.
Yeah.
Like if the Lakers can come out, muster up enough energy after a 6-game trip to beat the Cavs.
Yeah.
Now you go into a Sunday night game. I feel pretty good about it on a Sunday night. It's back to back, but at least it's a little more than less than 24 hours. I think we'll know because we'll see what the Suns got a couple games, the Kings got a couple games,
Pelicans
we'll see what those guys do.
The Kings, the Suns, the Warriors, and the Lakers.
We'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know going into that Warrior game exactly where we are, and I think that Warrior game will determine: do we really have a shot at 7-8, or are we playing for the home court 9-10? And at that point, the Lakers have to make a call. If it's a 9-10 game, maybe you sit LeBron the last game of the year. You know what I mean? You have to start to think like that. But if we'll know going into that game, I got a weird feeling that we have a legit chance.
People are kind of sleeping on that Warriors game. That team's going to be fighting like hell.
They've won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
I keep saying they're literally, we're still looking at 10.
Yeah.
I know we keep talking about 7 and 8, but 10's right there.
The Rockets are, hang on just one second.
Tie breaks on the line?
Tie breaks at stake.
The Rockets are not able to get in anymore, right?
The Rockets are done.
They're in trouble.
They're done.
They lost a
why
couple.
was Draymond saying that tonight they were going to end that? They're 3 games behind.
No, they're almost like officially eliminated, but there's no way they're making up 4 games in 5 games.
No.
There's no way they're going to go. Yeah, everyone would have to lose, which is impossible. So
they won 12 in a row. Good for them.
Yeah, they made it close.
They're 8-2 in their
out.
last 10. Yeah. They've lost their last 2.
Yeah, they're out now.
Fascinating story in ESPN.com today. I didn't read.
But the Warriors could end them now because they're playing them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think he's. Yeah.
Fascinating story. Fascinating story on ESPN.com today. I forget who wrote it. Maybe Lowe, but about how tough the West will be next year, with Houston all of a sudden arriving before schedule.
I know.
And made the Clippers drop.
Maybe Wemby and the Spurs are a little bit more competitive.
They're gonna have a lot of money to spend this offseason. The Clippers might age a little bit. We'll see what happens with them. They might drop back a little bit.
What made the West so tough this year, Brez, was what you thought might happen a year ago. Minnesota takes the jump.
Yeah.
OKC takes a big jump. The Kings stay in the hunt. Pelicans take a little jump. So now you added 4 teams to the Lakers and to Dallas and to Phoenix and the Clippers and Denver, and now that makes up your 9. And the Warriors, that makes up your 10 teams right there.
Now Houston's like, hi, we just won 12 in a row.
They're like, hey, we're
with a bunch of 21-year-olds. So without Şengün.
They're going to be
the West next year. I don't even know how you pick the top 8 in the West next year.
You got to always think. You know what? I always think that's so hard because people are going to face some injuries, right? And that just knocks the team down. Right? Like Portland's out. You hope they're out for a while. There's no more Dame. That team's done. But everyone else everyone else could make a big jump. But one injury can mess a team up. So it's so hard to pick the top 8 going into next year. You can obviously throw the same teams.
What about Memphis with a healthy jaw? They're never going to draw a big free agent, but they'll have money to spend this offseason.
It's a good point. They'll be good. They'll be back.
Who ends at the top of the West?
Huh?
Who ends at the top of the West?
Denver's schedule is pretty easy. Pretty easy.
I'm trying to think, Brez, do they care as much? I don't know. They're not. I don't know. I feel like they don't have the foot on the gas like I thought they would to get the 1 seed. I think they feel they're just going to get it.
Yeah.
I feel OKC's slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed with Minnesota. They keep hanging around. I thought they would drop to 3rd without
Cat.
Do you think they care about the 1 seed? Like they're going to come in on Sunday?
Yeah, they've never been there before. It's all they care about. Teams that have never won it before think that's their path to a final. They don't know what guys know that have won it. Denver last year. Boston this year. I mean, foot to gas down. We're going all the way through. Lakers in 2000. After the Lakers did it in 2000, they're like, okay, we'll throw something else.
Yeah.
Like Denver knows they can win it in any arena. It does not matter where they play. They know they can win a championship. On the road, at home. Of course, you'd love to have home court. Of course you would. But it's not the end all. Like for Minnesota, it means everything. For OKC, it means everything.
I'm going to read you Denver's remaining schedule. It's pretty easy. In fact, it is Where are we here?
got
They have the Spurs, Memphis, Utah, 3 dead teams right there. The Clippers, who are dying as we speak, they've been struggling.
And then one more.
And Minnesota.
They already played the Spurs.
Wow, that's
They have
pretty.
the Clippers tonight.
That's pretty chill.
Yeah. I think they have another
Is
game
Murray
against
out
Spurs.
still? I haven't watched Denver in a little bit. What's going on with
I
them?
think they're all back.
They're still my pick for the one because we're going to beat Minnesota.
Actually, I think they have the Hawks too. Denver has the Hawks.
Oh, you went backwards, Brez.
Yeah, I did. I'm just throwing out bad teams first. So it's a pretty easy schedule.
Do you think it'd be interesting if the Minnesota-Denver game mattered? Is that the final game of the year? Minnesota-Denver?
Good question.
I heard you say that.
No, their final game is Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
But they have them on April 10th, so third
You know
to
what
last.
we're not talking about when we look at these schedules, and I forgot while we were going through it for the last 2 weeks and fixating on it. You never know who plays down the stretch for teams. Like, I'm praying Boston still has their foot on the gas when the Kings play them tomorrow night.
Right.
Friday night. Because Boston doesn't need to play anybody. Hopefully they still play. Usually you want to play your guys up until there's a couple games left.
The injuries with the Kings are tough.
That's a team
Malik
that I
Monk,
wish we
Kevin
had just
Huerter.
one win against them. Like, the fact that we have no wins against them, so it's so hard to catch them. I mean, they're the most vulnerable. They're the most vulnerable with no Monk and no Herter.
Yeah.
But we'd have to pass them, not tie them.
I was at the game in Sacramento about a month ago, and it was close to halftime, and they just kept pulling away. I'm shocked that this team beat the Lakers all 4 games. I'm just shocked. I was shocked when they finished 3rd in the West last year.
It's
Of
weird.
course,
I still
they
want them in a
dumped out in the
7-8
first
game,
round.
Perez. I don't know why.
What's that?
I still want them in a 7-8 game.
Yeah. Especially like Allie said,
Please.
no Herter, no Monk. That's 30 points right there.
I'd rather have them than KD and Booker.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Katie,
If I'm in a 7-8 game,
Oh, yeah. Yep. 100%.
if I got to play Luka or Kyrie, I'm just saying. And by the way, Sabonis and Fox have killed the Lakers. But this is just me personal as going in as a fan. I would rather see the Kings.
I would say the Lakers' hardest path would be Golden State in the 9-10
Brutal.
and Phoenix in the next game, if that happens.
And then
The
say
easiest
hello
path-
to and then say hello to Denver.
Right. And then the easiest path, obviously, would be maybe like New Orleans.
7-8 game,
in
and yeah.
the 9-10, say the Lakers in the 9-10. Maybe New Orleans keeps falling. And then Sacramento in the next game. So there's easy path. There's so many combinations right now. There's easy paths. There's treacherous
Man,
paths.
it's like,
fun.
There's
it's fun.
not one. I see what you're saying. Easier on paper.
Yeah.
But those games are, remember that 7-8 game with Minnesota was an absolute beast last year.
Went to overtime.
Yeah, you lose that game, we're not making that run.
Mm-hmm.
We're out first round against Denver. Like,
Torian Prince was on Minnesota. It's crazy.
think about that. So
Had a pretty good game.
it matters where you go.
Yeah.
Matters where you go.
I think we all had great takes. Well done from the both of you, even the raisins and the waffles.
Good night.
It's making me hungry.
Having said that, the Lakers are
see
in
you guys
ninth
later.
place, as we mentioned in the West, a season best 11 games over 500. After the win against the Wizards, LeBron James was asked about postseason basketball.
LeBron, whether it's the play-in or the first round, you guys are going to have to win some games on the road at some point.
I'm the last guy you should ask about winning a game on the road.
Well, no, I know, but like for the group as a unit, like what can this trip do in terms of just confidence? Because you guys hadn't been
Nothing.
on the road.
Nothing. Nothing. This trip, what it does for us right now, we want to continue to build chemistry. We want to continue to play good basketball. But the postseason is still kind of ways away. Even, I know we only got, 6 games, or 6 games left? 5 games left. Postseason prep, all that other stuff is totally different from the regular season. So wherever we fall is where we fall, and wherever we got to go, if we have to go on the road, that's fine. That's fine. That's what it came down to, and then we'll take that approach when we get there.
You like that quote?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I like how LeBron's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I've won some pretty important road games in my life. You and I were at one of them in 2016 against 2016, right? Yeah, in Golden State, Game 7, NBA Finals. So I always like when LeBron's like, yeah, you want to ask me about winning on the road?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, at Washington was not the toughest road game of LeBron's career.
Comparing regular season to postseason
Yeah.
at all.
I mean, I understand the
How was that
question.
environment? Compare it to Game 7 in Golden State.
I understand the question. I think he was trying to get LeBron to say, yeah, we want to get up to 7 so we don't have to go on the road for a
That's what
play-in
everyone
game.
wants him to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he said the right thing. He said, we just want to be playing good ball. And that's what James picked up on that last night on the postgame show. He said, wherever we go, we just want to be playing
100% true.
Yeah. And they are.
Playing good basketball.
When you win 8 of 9.
That is the key.
What happens?
That is the key to them playing good. If they're playing good basketball, they feel they can win.
What happens if Jared Vanderbilt comes back?
Well, I've said this a million times. I actually said it on the radio today. Just my opinion. For me to have confidence in this Laker team making a run, Jared Vanderbilt has to be playing. You need him in a series to win.
Do you need to see him in the final 2 games of the season to have that confidence, or you're okay with rolling him out the first game of the postseason in a play-in situation?
Because, I don't know, I honestly, Allie, I feel like it took him a while to get back to what Jared, but maybe it won't this time, but I'd like him to have a game or 2 under his belt personally, just so he can work out some of the kinks. But I feel like he would still have value just because I trust him so much on that defensive end.
Yeah, he won't start, right? I mean, no matter what, this is your starting 5.
Yeah. But he comes in and plays D, and I mean, listen, if you're going to play against the Warriors, you're going to play against the KDs of the world, and you have to have this guy if you think you're going to win.
Yep. See if you can get up to like 20 minutes a game. That'd be ideal.
Yeah.
Wow. Lakeshow fans, remember, you can be part of the show each week. Feel free to send us your questions and comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's around a bucket or brick. Welcome back to the Lakeshow podcast presented by Jack in the Box. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. What are you laughing at over there? Chuckles McChuckles.
You had a cute cough.
It's your freaking cough. I want to know, sorry, we're going to get to bucket or brick in a second. I want to know how I got your cough and I don't even come close to you. It's the most annoying thing ever. Brett, stop laughing.
Keeter did a Rudy Gobert.
I don't know if you have to throw in you don't even want to come near me. I mean, we talk at least a few feet away from each other.
I didn't walk Zeffy.
No, she doesn't even like Zeffy anymore. Zeffy's pissed.
That's a lie.
Oh.
Keter did a Rudy
We
Gobert.
don't hang out,
he went by
though,
and
is my
touched your
point
computers
anymore.
and all your stuff.
Keter's too good for me. We don't hang out. We don't work out. We don't share yoga mats anymore. And
That's your
somehow
fault.
this cough jumped from his esophagus into my esophagus.
Esophagus.
Listen, it was the...
What do you mean? We don't share
It
microphones.
was a 2-month cough that just somehow got over to you.
Then that's y'all's problem. Because Nacho's like, excuse me? That is not my problem. Because you guys clean these, don't you? All right. Bucket or brick?
Bucket or brick.
Presented by Jack in the Box. I'm not happy.
Maybe you got the cough from someone else.
Bucket or brick? Geeter gave me his what?
Maybe you got the cough somewhere else.
You were on
You're
a
the
plane.
only person I know that's had a
plane.
cough
You're all over,
for 97
You're traveling
days.
all over.
Allie, did you wear a mask every minute you were away from us?
No, do you guys wear masks?
No, I'm just asking.
Just asking.
No, there's only one person in this room right now that has had a cough for the last 18 weeks.
First of all,
Has been
4
like
weeks
the
and
whole
4
season.
days.
eating Maduka
Barely
honey.
exists anymore. It's 4 weeks and 4 days. It's 32 days in right now.
And you want to
barely
sit there
around.
and laugh when I can't get a word out because I've got your cough. Thank you.
No, I just thought this one was... It was
It's not funny. I wanted to hack in the microphone, but I had better.
You did
God.
well.
All right.
It's hard here because we
Austin
don't have a
Reeves.
cough button. Little known fact, when we're at the desk for our shows, there's a little cough button you can push. It cuts off your microphone temporarily. There's no cough button with these. So you got to push the mic away.
a dirt.
Or,
By the way, he had a cough for a while.
Yeah.
Hello, this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he started the whole chain of command.
yeah, like 2 months ago.
I don't know. All I know is that you've had it and now I got it and I'm not sure how and it pisses me off.
Brick.
All right. Austin Reeves has played in all 77 games
Brick.
this season. Bucket or brick? Austin Reeves will play in all 82 games.
bucket.
Last Laker to do it was
Derek Fisher.
KCP
Okay, sorry.
Wow.
I was just thinking.
in 2017, 2018.
Oh, of course it was KCP. I got
Derek
I got
Fisher
a
was
bucket.
still in the league that year, though.
I got a bucket.
I believe, right?
Yeah, right? At this point, he's going to do it. Yeah.
Why would he not
Hell
do
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Every game's going to matter. And I just think if he gets to 80 games and say we already know what spot we're going to be in, he still wants to finish with 82.
For sure. Even if it's like I'll play the first half, like it's a
Yeah.
preseason game.
He's going to play it.
If the last game or two doesn't
Done
matter.
deal.
Yeah, he's in.
This is a big if, but if the Lakers make it out of the play-in, bucket or brick, the only first-round matchup that scares you is the Denver Nuggets.
Huge bucket. Huge bucket. Absolutely.
Let's not admit that we're
I'm
scared.
going to give another bucket. 7 other teams will be in the playoffs. None of them scare me. Nuggets have won 8 in a row against the Lakers. That team's a juggernaut. That team is, you're on the fence.
No,
I bucketed it twice.
I love the way you bucketed it, so it convinced me. I thought you're right. I mean, the way you put it is, I don't even know if I need to add to it. 7 other teams you would be happy to play because you're not
6
playing
of them.
Denver.
Yeah.
6, sorry.
Yep.
Sign me
Yeah.
up. It
7
doesn't
others.
mean it's a lock to beat them. No, but I like those matchups better. I'm with Brez.
For sure.
Raisin
next
waffles
one,
suck. I'm with Brez on all that. So.
Next one, we're going to start with some sound from Doc Rivers, who talked about the Bucks' struggles. You know what?
I just thought that's
you
the
were going to
sound.
have a cough until next fall. If you can. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Thank
Here
you.
it is.
Next one, we'll
back.
start with some sound from Doc
Allie
Rivers,
just
who
cursed
talked
you.
about the Bucks' struggles on the road recently.
You know, it's funny. I've actually been sitting back and watching everything. Not just our players, but our travel crew, everything. And I've made a lot of notes. I will say that. I won't share that. But we don't bring the necessary professionalism, seriousness on the road. And that's something that we can fix. That's something we're going to have to fix.
Do you feel like that just gets cleaned up in the playoffs? Like, have you seen that in the past? That
Yeah, I'm not concerned.
Just...
Yeah. The playoffs are a new beast, but I'm looking at it for the long run too. I mean, it's not just for now. Like, we got to be a better road team, and if we're not, we're doing something wrong. You know, as a coaching staff, we have to figure out what we need to do different as far as practices and training. As a travel staff, not talking players. We may have to do something different there too, because something's missing, and everybody seems happy, you know, but except for me.
Wow.
That was something.
Wow.
Bucket or brick? The Bucks stops with Doc Rivers. He threw the bus driver under.
Does it?
I don't even know what to do with this.
I don't know
It's
either. I want to
amazing.
talk about it.
All right, they've lost to Memphis
Talk about it.
and Washington. So these are bad signs with a week and a half left in the regular season. I can sense his angst. I mean, look, the guy just got the job like 10 minutes ago. How upset can he be?
15 and 15.
What's that?
They're 15 and 15.
Wow.
Okay, you know what it sounds like to me, Brez?
Wow.
He sounds like a guy that is allowed to say whatever he wants, like Charles Barkley on TNT. Like he sounds like a guy that like I'll take this job or not. If you don't want me to be back next year, I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I feel. That was interesting. He basically was throwing everyone under the bus. He was sending a message, and I think people are scared for their jobs because I think even the bus driver thinks he's getting fired.
And even the guy that fills up the Gatorade. Could you imagine filling up Gatorade wrong under someone's eyes?
Take some
hard to
accountability,
do.
Doc. What about you?
That's hard to do. And I know some people in that franchise, they've loved the Doc experience. Like they love him. But the wins and losses just are not 15 and 15, Geet. That's unbelievable. Yeah.
He kind of like
I mean, they might have a different opinion
went
after
away
that
from blaming the
soundbite.
players though and blamed basically everyone else.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Bucket or brick? Is Doc Rivers the problem?
No. That's a brick.
I'll brick that. Yeah, he's not the problem, but I mean, they're not winning a lot of games.
It's a pretty good team,
But
too.
it's a team thing. Mm-hmm. Doesn't just fall on Doc.
Looks good on paper when you make all these trades.
He's not the one that traded Drew Holiday away.
Right. Yeah. No, these dream teams look great on paper.
Traded your best defender.
Yeah.
What do you think was going to happen? Broseph.
Bucket or brick? Women's Final Four has more star power than the men's Final Four.
Absolute bucket. Plus, the ratings have been through the roof. Did I read that the ratings for the Iowa LSU game, an Elite Eight game, did better than like some of the World Series games, some of the NBA Finals games last year? Yeah. I mean, it's the ratings are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
There's some stars for sure.
Yeah.
I wish Juju was still playing.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
And LSU.
I was super fired up on that Elite Eight night.
It was great.
I think South Carolina is the best team, right? Isn't that what everyone says? That would be, I think, if they were to play, and I was on the other side of the bracket.
Yep.
Right. So if they were to meet, I think that would be a huge number again. I didn't think Iowa was that good, and because they haven't impressed me too much, and I thought Caitlin carried them, but the role players played awesome. Like, that was a fun game because when you watched them get their butts kicked last year against LSU, you thought the same thing might happen. I didn't even know if they'd get to that LSU game.
Right.
I was kind of pulling for UCLA to get by LSU, but I did want to see that matchup. So I don't know if
It's hard.
star power. Yeah, I mean, I guess Caitlin's biggest star right now in college basketball. So
Guys, can I tell you? First of all, I can name more players and coaches from the women's Final Four.
Zach Edey.
I mean,
You can?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Zach Edey might be the only player, and Burns for North Carolina State. Who are the other teams?
Bama's got some good
UConn
guys.
and Alabama.
I can't name a UConn guy, and I know they're the best team in the country. I don't watch a lot of college hoops.
That team is unreal.
Yeah. And who's the guy that James likes from Alabama?
Can you name more than Caitlin Clark?
I can name 2 coaches, Don Staley and Gino.
Yeah, there you go.
In fact, Allie, you're going to love
How
this.
many times has Gino been there? Come on.
You know, should we call him? I actually have Gino's phone number.
No way, really?
Yeah. There it is. What
Want
does
to
that say,
FaceTime
Allie?
him?
You should call him.
Did you do an article on him once?
I dare you to just call him to see if the number still works.
This is so funny. I covered the 2012 Olympics in London for the LA Times. I was doing men's and
was
women's
coach.
U.S. basketball. He was
Yeah.
the coach. So I went up to him at media day for the women's basketball. I said, hey, I'm with the LA Times. He's like, oh, cool. We talked for like 5-10 minutes off to the side. He's like, take my phone number. Never had to call him. Never.
Call him right now.
Can you imagine?
What do you have to lose? Call him.
Hey, man, we met 12 years ago
Hey,
in
man, I'm on a
London.
podcast right now.
What's the bet that he still has the same number? I dare you to call him. This has been over a decade. You could literally, if he
let's
picks
see.
up, you should just
See.
hang up. Butt dial.
We're gonna call Gino. It's an 860 number.
Just be like, good luck, Gino. Gino hasn't set up his voicemail box.
Gino hasn't set
Gino
up his
gave you a
voice.
fake
Goodbye.
number.
Yeah, either that or it was 12 years ago. We don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
That was fun. It was a good idea.
You're welcome.
Prez was a little nervous. he
Gino,
was
give me
gonna
your new
answer.
number. Just kidding. I haven't seen the guy in 12 years.
Are you guys dialed in? Are you going to watch all the games?
Yeah.
I actually just got my brother tickets to the women's Final Four. He is stoked because it's in Cleveland.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to be down at the arena on Saturday.
I will be down at the arena on Saturday.
So what time do you think that game ends? 3?
12:30, 2:33.
So our post-game show is going to be right smack dab
The first game, right?
in the middle of the first game, yeah.
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 Is Rob going?
Oh,
He told me he was not going.
Last
but
I
I
heard,
didn't know
no,
if that changed.
but how could he not go? They've never been.
Oh wait, Rob's supposed to be here on Saturday.
Oh.
no chance.
Well, he can do
chance
what I
there.
did 10 years ago. You wait till your team's in the finals. I waited until Wisconsin got to the finals. I flew out for that game.
But I mean, he's going to be watching that game.
Yeah.
Is it second game or first?
If they're in the finals, he's got to get out there on Monday. He just has to.
I told you, my brother was waiting for his whole life. San Diego State made it last year. He went to the
And he
Final
went.
Four.
I
He was
remember
there
that.
for that shot.
Yeah, that was a
Butler
big
did
deal.
it.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Bonus bucket or brick.
Yeah.
Bucket or brick. Geeter gave me his cough.
Brick?
You know, I'll go bucket.
Brick?
I'll go, just
I don't think I did. I don't
Sir.
think I did. I'm going to blame it on your lifestyle. You
did do a lot of
You
traveling.
went out. You went traveled. You're
No one
busy.
needs to know my business.
I'm just saying you're traveling.
Weren't you in Vegas for like
You will
4 or
not be
5
getting
days?
any more pictures,
I'm just
text
saying
messages,
you
phone calls
traveled.
on my.
You traveled.
Wait.
If I would have went to the movie with you and Karina, then maybe. But I didn't go that day because I was coughing.
Plus, Jason was in Vegas for like 4 or 5 days. Maybe Jason.
Just kidding. Do you have plans after this? Why are you dressed up in a flannel? I meant to ask you that before the bucket.
Are you going to
I
Waffle
don't
House?
cough until you make me laugh. What is wrong?
Brett, where do you think the cough came from? Yep, told you.
Appreciate Brett weighing in there.
Brian's got the Maduka honey ready.
Yeah.
Nacho's like,
By
just
the
get
way,
these
James
lunatics out
brought
of
me
here.
that Maduka honey, and I've gone through the whole thing. That's like a $70 bottle.
It's
of
pricey,
honey.
right?
Does
Yeah.
it just like soothe?
Nacho, get yourself some Maduka honey. There's a little left, buddy.
It's like
down your
$5 a
throat?
spoonful.
By the way, I'm just continuing this podcast, so you have to stay here because of what you
noticed
said
that.
at the start.
I have huge plans.
Okay, I'm done.
Now I have a
Thanks to you
7
for
o'clock
listening
dinner tonight. It was Luca's birthday last week.
Shout out, Luca.
And
birthday.
half the family was gone. They were at a volleyball tournament in Las Vegas, so we're going to do just a little dinner at Nick's tonight.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say Raising Cane's.
That's so funny. That's what she said, and Jess was like,
Waffle House.
"We're not doing dinner at Raising Cane's. Let's go.
Can you even eat in there, or is it just drive-through? I've never been.
Ish.
You can,
You can, but
yeah.
yeah,
You know what you do? A little mobile order, Brez. You go right in. It's always ready. You pick it up and you get out.
the one right around the corner.
Yeah,
Is
when you
she
want to.
going to have butter cake with a candle?
Got
She
you
probably
butter
will have
cake.
butter cake. Yeah.
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 Coup de
God, that sounds good.
Coup de thé. You know what that is?
No, it sounds like something I shouldn't say out
It's
loud.
like a veggie dish that I had to order one time, and I ordered it during a commercial between the E block and the F block of a non-game night show, and everybody in the control room heard me talking to True Food because I was ordering for the family. And a crudité.
A crudité?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a veggie. It's like a veggie platter.
It sounds like some kind of platter.
Yeah.
All right.
Allie, you missed James choking on almonds in the F block in the postgame show the other night. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
He said, Geet, you came to me. I was choking on some almonds over
By
here.
the way, like, I feel like I've done that to him a few times. I don't, it's like, I didn't know he's like eating
I
almonds
saw
while
him
I'm
chewing.
talking.
I saw him chewing. I'm like, uh-oh. Where's this
I don't know,
going?
you kind of got to know.
Big Game walked in yesterday, and then we're going to wrap
So
this up.
I feel bad.
Big Game
Almonds
walked
are
into
tough,
the
too.
studio yesterday, and he goes, Al, what's up with the
What's up with the hair?
What?
He goes, I think he was trying to give me a compliment because
But it
he
didn't come out
said
that
it
way.
didn't come out that way. He goes, what's up with the hair?
Your hair was doing something yesterday, wasn't it?
Like,
Wait, how was it longer yesterday?
It wasn't.
100%.
No, you're just a
ask
man,
anybody.
and you just decided to start paying attention.
So false.
So true.
false.
All you men know it.
Apologize.
Thanks to you for listening to my
Apologize
TED Talk
for this podcast.
and the Lakeshow podcast, presented by Jack in the Box. Follow me on TikTok Live. I was just giving the Lakeshow
That's
podcast a
absolute
shout out. If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and review on your favorite
cut my
podcast
mic?
app. Want to hear from you? Send us your questions. Hit us up on X at Relay Clifton, at Geeter3, and at Mike_Bresnahan. Until next week.